diverse kind of audience now. Thank you for coming. We have from NGOs, from companies, from partner NGOs, and from youth workers, and also from our delegates from Commonwealth. Thank you for coming, and from our team. Afif, depan, boss. Control lagi, control. So just, I think I will brief a few minutes. So before we start, we started in 2013. Where the students, after school, they don't have a positive space to hang out, and we provide the space by our own money initially. Our founder is Nizam. We have a urgent meeting, but we can come also. So we took about 6 years to prove the concept with the first bunch, and then the second bunch is in 2017 next. So this is what happened at the back of our center. Now, little by little they come here and then they become more volunteer, and after that they become successful through engagement. Although even though they don't have a good educational background. Next. So we try to aim to become their third space, meaning after their school and their home, they will come to our space. Rather than to go to other places that are maybe, I don't know, more negative or more prone to negative peer pressure. So we have to provide this next. So I think I'll stop here. We are trying to develop our concept of safe space, meaning safe, visible, and physical and emotional space, so that they can freely express and they can freely share. We provide youth worker for every spaces. I think you are first in Malaysia that use that term as a professional youth worker. That's why we engage closely with Dr. Jufitri. This is championing that in Malaysia also. That's why we are meeting with our Commonwealth delegates here for our conference in November, I think. And then also we try to provide a push of informal learning, meaning not like homework, tuition or homework, but we are more open to very diverse and fun learning. So now I think next we're going to show you the last slide. Next, cawangan. Next. Laju. Quick. Okay, this is now our branches, about 13 and 14, and there are some NGOs are adopting our model also. We are training them, meaning it's growing. So 12 of them are on low-cost housing, meaning tight space, no accommodation. So we provide them with all this accommodation. Some of them are appreciative for some small things like air conditioning, water, and provide them spaces to learn. So this is what we do, and thank you for engaging. So our sharing today will be casual. Some of the audience will be here, some of them will be online, and we'll have some exciting discussion also. So I can invite Mr. Layne to start. So I have to be. Lari dah. They're running away.
They should run away.
Okay. Good evening and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our beloved audience today in Adab Garage Bandar Bangi. Thank you for attending and also participating also with our audiences online, and we're happy to have our esteemed guest today, and we're going to have some exciting discussion about youth empowerment in the local and also in the global context, and we can discuss. So please freely have an engaging discussion, whether from the audience and also from the audience online. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our guest today, Mr. Layne Robinson, coming here with his delegates from Commonwealth. How are you today? Testing. Okay.
No, I'm very good. Thank you very much. It's a privilege for us to be here with you in Malaysia, first of all, but also now in this center where you are doing all of what we are hopeful is happening all across the Commonwealth.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Layne. And I will moderate casually today. My name is Fawaz. I'm a HR manager of Adab Garage, and they are jam-packed schedule. So we're going to be easy today and in this evening when discussion. You will be here about 5 to 6 days in Malaysia, right? So then you're working visit in Malaysia. Yeah. So how is it? This is not your first time in Malaysia.
No, not first time. So we are here since Sunday, and beautiful country, beautiful people, wonderful food, wonderful fruits in particular. But we've been here on a particular mission to prepare ourselves and prepare, the country for our youth work conference, which comes up later in November.
Yes, exactly. So the typical question is for anyone coming to Malaysia, where have you went to Malaysia, and then what food have you tried? So they have tried many local foods.
Yes.
Some of them are dragon fruits. You have not tried durian yet.
Yeah, I had durian, not today, but we've had durian before. Today was our dragon fruit. I mean, that was the best part of it today.
I see. So the must try is of course nasi lemak, right? And roti canai. Anything to add to that? Tarik.
Milo ice.
No, Milo ice. The first night I came, we landed at 10 o'clock, and by 2 a.m. I was buying Milo ice. I went out to buy it. It was so good.
Okay. So I was informed there was jam-packed schedule, but you have no time to divert to other places. Maybe you have leisure time later. So okay, Mr. Layne Robertson is the head of social policy development, the Commonwealth Secretariat, and he has a well-versed and a wide area of experiences, especially in youth development and youth empowerment. And he is from Jamaica. He's from Jamaica, and also you have so many projects you have to develop. You are also, before this you're also a program officer. You're also the head program of youth development and empowerment. And at the early stage, you're also youth policy and advocacy specialist in 2006. It's me in 2006. How many years is that?
Too many.
Yeah, meaning I was so small there at that time, but to show your experiences from the early time, so we can discuss today.
Sure.
So the topic is quite general, meaning youth empowerment. It's quite interesting to know what is your view on that term and what is your experience there. We also want to discuss about the aspects of leveraging the working together with Malaysia, and also we are going to be the chair of ASEAN this year, and also with the Commonwealth Secretariat. What we can do to encourage and to develop youth as a whole, as a collectively. So regarding that, we have many current challenges, many economic challenges, climate challenges, and also geopolitical challenges.
Absolutely.
Also. And I think that's a nice topic to discuss also. But I just have some quick survey with our online audiences. What is their view of youth empowerment, just generally? So I can share a little bit for us to guide our discussion today. Some of our participants said youth empowerment is about skill, leadership, and involvement. I see a common theme there, and also someone also shared about youth decision making. These are some themes that people say. One participant also shared about youth empowerment is meaningful engagement. Some of them share also about delegation to young people to grow the organization and nation. Transformation. Some of them also, this is quite interesting, it's about education, leadership, skill development, creating a supportive environment where youth can voice their opinions, take action, and make meaningful contribution to the society. I think that's sum it up.
It's a lot.
I can start by my own experience developing AYG. Some of our local friends also familiar about AYG. Adab Garage, we mainly engage with marginalized youth, meaning not having much opportunities in education, being left out by the school or their families by many challenges. But what common thing that I see that they have is they still have the wanting to learn and also their potential to be exposed and to be grown. But they don't have the right channel or the right people to meet. So I think we can. I think I'll give you the floor to share with us maybe 15 to 20 minutes your view on youth empowerment.
Sure.
And what is the current challenges and where we can go from there, and then we can after that we can have those sessions, and also some of us please help me to share the chat or we can have any online questions.
Sure.
So I can give you the floor.
Thank you. No, thank you very much, and congratulations on the work you're doing. Very much appreciated. So I'll spend a little time talking a bit about youth empowerment with you. A lot of what was said is actually right, but I want to frame it a little bit differently. So in our work, and I'll probably use this board, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So in our work, I mean, in the Commonwealth, we talk about empowerment quite a bit. Huh? But one of the things we talk about in terms of defining youth empowerment, we talk a bit about the political empowerment of young people. So politically, that is their ability to contribute to making decisions, not just, you mentioned the spaces, not just in their home and in school, but in the community, right in every system that they are. This political empowerment is very important. So empowerment politically, even in this space, this safe space, do the young people feel they have the right to contribute in the decision making about what the programs will be. So we spend a lot of time talking about the political empowerment. So institutions like the youth councils, institutions like the student bodies, are institutions that are living to showcase what we mean by political. But it goes all the way up to voting and participating in parliament. So this is all, it starts in the home. In the home, does a young person or a child get the support to contribute to the decision in the home? When the family is going to go on a trip, or to go somewhere, or to plan a vacation, I don't know what, does the young person in the home get the chance to participate in that political, because it's about making decisions, it's about power. So politically, we talk about political empowerment, which is a big part of a lot of our work we do. Then we also talk about the economic empowerment. The economic empowerment of young people, which is now, as you get older, or as you grow, you must now interface with the natural resources around the world. It could be jobs, it could be money, it could be participating in, earning, how do you participate in the economic or the productive, even again from the home. So everything starts from the home, it goes in the school, looking at the, contributing to the school, and then it continues into employment. So a lot of what you do is to prepare a young person in their mind to be able to participate ultimately as a part of the wider society, economically. And that is looking at not just jobs, but the skills that they have to participate, to contribute to and to benefit from. That is the economic, and to participate economically. And so we know there are lots of issues with young people not participating economically. They are left out of the economic space to make a decision. So they can't work, they can't, earn money. Same, they're left out of the political space, in the home, in the society, not voting, it's the same. So the work of this center, the work that we do, the work you're doing, is to empower young people to participate in and benefit from the economic, meaning making money and the share of the resources that are in the world. And then the third empowerment we talk about is the social and economic. The social is where we're talking a bit about, how they participate as part of society, the culture, the ways of what society offers. Participating in the society as a part of the society is important for our young people. There are different ages in the society. What is the contribution of the younger people in that society? So you can see if the work you are doing, sometimes you're not thinking about it like that, but it's actually contributing to each of these types of empowerment. We talk about that. And that is, the assumption is the young person does not have that power. Your role is to help build into that person the political, social, and economic tools that will help them to benefit from society and to contribute to society. That's what we talk about. So when we talk about, the space, we have a concept, and I will share with you. We talk about the fifth space. So you have three, but we will send you a resource we call the fifth space, which is exactly what you are doing, the space, the safe space. In that space, you are working to help, not in a school. In this school, they do some kind of formal education, but you are doing here the non-formal education to help empower young persons politically, economically, and socially. This is what we talk about. So in our work, we work with different ministries and governments to help. Because in the government now, you're talking about the ministries responsible for trade. Huh? You're talking about the finance ministry. You're talking about the banks. Huh? You can see. You're talking about those who are business people, the private sector. They're all part. Where is the young people engaging in those systems? What about politically? You're talking about, again, in the local, in your states, all the levels, in the religious bodies, in the government, in parliament, all the way up, it goes, it's the same. And our job is to begin to make each of these institutions something that young people can feel a part of. Yeah? Same thing socially. You can go into it when you're talking about sports, when you're talking about cultural spaces, when you're talking about anything that has to do with the social realities of young people. We're trying to make sure young people are engaged in those. And that's the challenge we have, because most of these spaces are not safe for young people. When they go in, they're either put at the left, they're put at the back, they're not right at the front, they're not a part of the core of what that is about. When actually, in this country, how many young people do you have? Millions. 8 million. So really, if you're, as the country is focusing on them, they should be at the heart. But I'm going to go another step now. Another step. Are you okay? So far, okay. I'm going to go another step. So this is the economic, social, and political empowerment of our young people. Let's go another step. So when I ask, the work of the sense of the work you do, you tell me it's youth empowerment. But what exactly is it? I've just described it for you. But what exactly is that empowerment for the person, for the man, for the woman, for the young boy, the young girl? What is that empowerment? And I want to share with you two concepts. I'm going to use first. Let me use this one. I'm staying with circles today. So I'm going to do this one, which I call, this one is well known. It's called the golden circle. Okay? The golden circle. So in the golden circle concept of empowerment, and if I ask you, you were telling me just now in your video, you tell me what you do here. You tell me, what do you do? Oh, you have your drawing, your painting, you make sure the young people have access to some technology, they play games, they do some sports. You're telling me what you do. Yeah, this is very good. This is what we do is so important in empowering people, because it is what, if you do sports, using sports is a very powerful way to help young people get engaged, it keeps them active. It's what they do, drawing, coloring. This is part of their empowerment. And as they do sports, they pick up teamwork skills, they learn how to be more a leader, am I right? And so on. And you use different things, art, you use coloring, whatever you use, draw, acting, what you do. Then if I ask you, you told me a bit more, you told me how you did it. Huh? So it's very important. You were telling me how you did it. You went around in your work, you register them, you bring them in. You're telling me about the processes involved in getting young people to be a part of this space. The how you did it was important. The methods you were using, you told me you were registering, and then you work sometimes 3 to 10, and you have a time for the young people in the evening for homework. How you did it is important. So these are very important. If I ask you, which of these is more important, what would you say? What you do or how you do it? Which is more important? Which is more important? What you do or how you do it?
How?
So a lot of people spend a lot of time telling people about what they do. So when I ask you, what do you do at the center here? You tell me, oh, lots of things. You show me what. So what you do is very important. And most people, they love to share about what they do. If I ask you, Mr. Tai, what do you do? Who are you? You tell me what you do. Miski, you tell me what you do. I'm a youth officer. It's what you do. People think it's so important. I go to your business. Those who have business, what do you do? Oh, we sell computers. It's what they do. But so most people start their explanation, I guess sharing what they do as the most important. But what you do is not equally as important as how you do it. Because you could say you do this wonderful thing, but you do it badly. Would it make the what so important? If you were bringing this wonderful and you were kicking the young people, would it be good? No. So how you do it is also important. Perhaps more important than the what. Because how you do it, you may not have any facility, but if you have a process in place or a mind to have a good process or a method in place, it makes a difference. But I want to say to you, empowerment is not so much about the what you do or the how you do. Empowerment for you is really about helping people to discover why you do it. Yeah? Why you do what you do is perhaps the most important thing. If I should ask you, why do you get up in the morning? Why do you go and spend your own money to come to set up the center in 2013? What would you say? Why did you do it? Is the source of empowerment. Because the why tells you what you believe in your heart. It tells me what your purpose for doing it is. That is the most important thing. So sometimes I could not know what you do. I'm not so empowered by how you do it, its processes, its procedure. But why you do it makes the most difference for people. And the companies in business, let me use business, the companies that explain to people why they do what they do are the most successful companies. There are lots of people who love to tell people what they do, but that's not important. Somebody else will come and do something similar. But if you explain to people, when I ask you, sir, why you do what you do, the love, the passion, the belief, the purpose. You know, somebody said, the 2 most important days in every person's life. What are the 2 most important days? Number 1, the day you were born. Isn't it? Because if you were not born, nobody would know about you. If you did not make it out of the womb, nobody would know. So the day you were born is a very important day, the most important day. What is the second most important day? The day you found out why you were born. Huh? Why were you born? The journey towards empowerment is to help a young person. I heard all the explanation. They were describing lots of what. What you want to say, the journey to empowerment is to help a young person understand why they were born. And to discover what is the potential that is inside of them. Does it make sense? So I'm going to test it now. If I should ask you, have you discovered, I know you can tell me when you were born. You can tell me when you were born. I hope so. When you were born, you know when you were born?
When?
Yes?
Yes.
Yes? When were you born?
18 January.
18 January?
1987.
1987. 1997.
Yes.
97. Very, very young. If I ask you the same question, why were you born? Do you know the answer for that one? Huh? If I should ask you, why were you born? Mr. Tai, why?
Yeah, I was born in...
Because, no, not when, why?
Why?
I'm going to bet you. It's a different question. As somebody said, 2 most important days is when the day you were born, but to discover why you were born. That is your purpose. That is your why. So the journey towards empowerment, youth workers, is to help a young person through the coming here, doing the what, And the how is to really help them to discover why. And if in youth work we miss that, then the person could have gone through. Any young person that discovers purpose, meaning, value, you've changed your life forever. Yeah? So the question in your mind now, I bet you're asking me, if each of you, do you know why you were born? That is the one that's going to challenge you tonight. When you're sleeping in your bed, you're going to ask everybody, can you help me tell me why I was born? How many people know that, by the way? Not sure. You see, knowing the why does a lot of good things. Huh? It gives you very clear purpose. You know exactly, you could make good decisions. If you know why you were born, distractions don't matter. You know, convincing them that school, the how, doesn't matter. They're very clear now because I know why I was born. You can make a very clear decision about should I go to school, not to school, should I go this. Job decision making is important. So you know what kind of job you're going for, or if you need a job at all, because your why is very clear. You see? So the day you discover why you were born changes everything in your life forever. It will. So I will challenge every youth worker, and I'll challenge you as an individual. Share when somebody asks you, what do you do? Not just to tell them what you do. What they say, what do you do? Not how you do it, but people really, really enjoy when you tell them why you are doing it. So I know you can tell me why you do this. Why did you set this place up in the first place? Why? The interviewee becomes the interviewer. Tell us why, because I know you know why.
The first.
Why you do it?
This is my story. Maybe it's different from different people. I born luckily in a good family and in a, I would say, well-positioned family. When I'm friends with other people, I saw that they don't have the same privilege as me.
Yes.
So and then I was confused about that. And then when I exposed more in the NGO and the community work, I saw that a lot of other people that I don't know having more difficulties, and I felt that strange because I've never seen that.
Yes.
So that's why that is my impulse to help them and to help and to give them the opportunity.
Yes.
Because that's how I have my meaning in life.
Let me ask you this question: when you're doing this, does it make you happy?
I don't think happy is the
right word.
Yeah.
What's the best word? Give me the better word.
I think meaningful is
meaningful. You feel fulfilled.
Fulfilled, yes, exactly.
You see the difference? I ask many young people, what do you do? Oh, I don't like this, or my job is boring. I know the reason why. Because they still have not discovered why.
Yes.
Once you are discovered your why, life has meaning, it has purpose, it is meaningful. Every day is not going to a job anymore.
Yes, exactly.
It's going, and pay doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You would do it gladly for $0. Why? Because you have discovered why. The purpose of education, I would add, the original purpose of education, to go to school, is not to get information in your head. So people think it is to go to get your mind. No. It is to help complete you physically, mentally, socially, to help you to discover your why. So the purpose of the school system, I can't understand how a person could go through 5, 6, 8 years of school, a whole time, and they come out not knowing why I am. All right, you see? This is very important. This is empowerment. Empowerment is to help. The purpose of our youth worker is to every day helping a young person to understand why. I'll go a bit further. I'm building some more. Are you okay so far?
Yes.
Does it make sense?
Yes,
I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm having a little time more. I'm going to use one more. Today I'm going geometric. I'm going very geometric today. So I'm going to go for a triangle this time. Okay, this is everybody knows what this is. What is this? What is this? It's not perfect. What is it? It's a what? It's a shape, it's a triangle. I'm a tenth of a triangle. Okay. So I'm going to share with you something. For many years I used to teach, but I adapted this thing to something else. And still on empowerment, okay? So you could call it, let's call it the ABC triangle, okay? A, B, C. Are we there? So in discovering your why you are and so on, there are components that will help you to do this, and this is the journey of empowerment.
Yep.
So the first is, let me write this a bit better. Yes. So I always start with A. Huh? The A is part of the triangle. Why? Because all individuals, there are certain attitudes that you have. So I know if I start asking, what do you do? There are certain attitudes that you demonstrate naturally. Attitudes, your attitude towards coming here, your attitude towards work, your attitude towards life, your attitude. Anything you do, you have attitudes in your life. There's some attitude that you demonstrate. Does it make sense?
Yep.
And then those attitudes lead you to demonstrate some type of behavior. Some behavior, some way of acting it out. Actually, I could do it this way, because the behavior is what you see. I may never see the attitude that is in your mind that is driving you, but I can see the behavior. If I come in here and I'm like, oh, I don't care about anything. What kind of attitude am I demonstrating? You only see my behavior. But because of my behavior, it is telling you something is going on that is bad in my head. My attitude might not be right. If I come in and I'm very excited and positive, you may not see my attitude because it's in my head, but you are seeing my behavior, isn't it? And sometimes, what I'm also not seeing is the conflicts that are going on inside of you. The conflicts that are going on inside. You are wrestling. Sometimes I see people, one day they're good, one time they're bad. There's something inside that is, you're trying to figure out your life. This is the, you see, contradictions or conflict inside. So when you look at people, sorry to say, they're normally just comprised of their attitudes, behavior, and the contradictions that are going on inside all the time. This is the battle to become something. Contradictions in life. So the work of the youth worker is to work with this ABC cycle. Number one, you're seeing the behavior. This is the visible part of a person. This is the invisible. Remember, we're talking about the why. The visible part, you see the behavior. Sometimes you see a young person and they're acting really badly. You don't know what is driving it, but you see the behavior. And the youth worker must begin to work through helping to figure out what is that attitude, some people say you have a bad attitude, or what is the contradiction, the conflict that is driving this behavior. We can't see these two. It's like an iceberg. You see, this is above the ice, you see the iceberg. But below the iceberg, so below the sea is this big iceberg that is, you can't fix, you can't see, but it is driving behavior. So the work of the youth worker is to work through the ABC cycle. You see the behavior, and you must begin to work to help a young person unpack what is the nature of his or her attitudes that's driving it, and what are some of those contradictions that are inherent inside all of us, this battle. And you begin to work through this in very easy ways. You do it every day naturally. You don't even think about it anymore. You are doing it because you begin to replace some of those bad attitudes with positive attitudes. You begin to help them settle some of those conflicts inside them. And over time, you begin to see a positive behavior beginning to happen. The youth worker's job is to constantly, through dialogue and discourse and training and non-formal, to help a young person unpack what attitudes and contradictions are driving their behavior. So another way to see is in helping somebody to discover the why, is to also, beyond that, help them to be on a personal journey of personal development. Does it make sense? Yeah. So once a person, I may see the why, I know why my purpose is, but how are you going to get them from here to fulfill their purpose? It's to help them along this journey by unpacking attitudes, contradictions, and their behaviors. The behaviors you see. When I used to work in youth work in the field, you would go to a center and I would see a young person with hoodie over their head, not looking in your eye. You know what I'm talking?
Yeah.
And something is down here. I don't know what it is, I cannot see it, but I know something is here. If his mother or father comes and he says, "Go away, mother," I can't tell you what is in it, but I can see the behavior. I know something is respect, something might need to be done. Attitude, respect for parents, respect for authority. There's some contradiction about who he is. That is why he covers the face. He can't look you in the eye because something, maybe guilt, something bad, I don't know. But you can see the behavior. So the youth worker's job is to, by observing behavior in a space like this one, help the young person to discover what are those attitudes that are driving behavior and contradictions. That is also the journey towards empowerment. Now, personal development. This is the journey. So you see, so before you can help a person to go from wherever they are to discover their purpose, you may have to do a little bit of this. This is the personal journey. So we call this, we use this in, I apply this quite a bit in also conflict situations. Because when we do peace work, it's the same principle. You see? So in these two ways now, yes sir, the one again, yeah? The what, the how, the why is the most important. Very important. This is what drives, this is the purpose, this is the empowerment is about discovering why. And then a little bit more how to help them to achieve this why and to live a stable. So when we talk about the Commonwealth, when we talk about ASEAN, when we talk about Malaysia, at each of those levels, we have different tools, but ultimately, our job is to help a young person discover his or her purpose or strengthen the understanding of their purpose so they can live a very productive and a fulfilling and meaningful life, and helping them to understand and to develop positive attitudes to life and to work and to family, to deal with their contradictions, which we all have inside of us. There's something raging in some of us, it's good, bad. Sometimes the bad wins out in most of us, but to help them unpack and to clarify what those contradictions are. And ultimately, what you see is the behavior that goes about on the street every day. This is what is happening. So in our work, and the last one, I gave you this one already, this is the empowerment model. Political, economic, social. That's what we're on our journey to. So I'll put one more bit in it just to give you, this one will be easy, because you could come at this in a number of ways. This is just one approach. In our job, we call this what we call positive youth development, or what we call asset-based youth empowerment. So, and that idea is based on, I know a young person is a value to their society. So it begins with an understanding that a young person is an asset. Every young person that comes in through this door, the belief you have is that they're an asset to society. That's a positive approach to youth development. There's another approach, which is what we call the deficit approach, where every young person that comes through the door is a problem child to be fixed. If you start with them being a problem child to be fixed, some of this approach is not important. You're going to fix their problem. You're going to make sure you fix them. Huh? And that's this person doesn't have anything in them. I must fix them. I must either pour some, you talk about, if I'm empty, then you need to pour something in. Actually, in the asset approach, they've come in, there's a potential already there. They're probably 3/4 full. But your job is to get them to be 100% full. So what I'm saying is you don't have to, this approach, and I hope you're practicing the positive youth development approach, where you see every young person, you don't know which one of them is going to be the next great thing in this country. Could be a great athlete. Could be because the why, we don't know why. This is what we don't know. The person could be the next prime minister. Strange. Could be the next great artist. But if you take this approach of saying, the person who's, every one of them, and I've seen it in my life, so I can tell you, some of them that have come through in my life now are ministers of government. When I saw them first, I used to teach as well. So some of the children that I used to teach, you can never write them off. Oh, this one is a failure. How can you write them off? You don't know what tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. So that because of this belief, this enduring belief, that every person that comes in could be the next, could be my next president, my next prime minister. First, I treat them with respect, because why? They could be the next prime minister. 10 years down the road, 20 years, I might be going and say, oh, minister. So you treat that person with respect because you have that asset. And it goes in every way of life, huh? Because you believe that there's a potential there to be fulfilled. But the last thing I will say, oh, I've done my time. Last thing. Last bit I'll share with you. So you're going through. So now the last bit is, for the young person. So you are working with the young person. They're an asset and you're working with them. But the most important thing for that individual now, that person, let's say it's me, is to kind of, in my understanding my why, there are many things in my background and so on you don't know. But what you see every day is my behavior, is my personality. So I spend a lot of time trying to figure out, what is your personality? What is your temperament? What are you like? Are you outgoing, extrovert, or an introvert? Which one are you?
Ambivert.
I'm just starting with there. Are you an outgoing person? That's the best day for me. I'm an introvert. Some people that come in through the door are introverts. An extrovert is somebody who loves fun, loves to party, loves to have the fun of the room. When they come in, the room is lively. They're joking all the time. That's an extrovert. Suppose somebody comes in this room who's an extrovert, who's an introvert, and you're trying to make them into an extrovert. What is going to happen to the person? Yeah? Tell me, you know. The person is naturally an introvert, and after time you realize that the person is actually you're treating them to make them an extrovert. Have fun, laugh, smile. What's the person going to do? You're going to be working on their brain. That's not them. They're getting confused, they're getting frustrated. Why are you trying to make me smile when I'm not a smiler? Do you understand? Yeah. So the next, in helping the individual, you have to take each individual and helping them to understand in their journey what is the personality that they have. And you may need some tools to help this, but you'll pick it up after a while. This one doesn't like to go out and play. This one likes to stay and come. Why is that important? You see, based on the personality you have, it's like you're in a particular pathway. You're already born. The why? You're in a particular journey already. If I'm supposed to be going here and you're pulling me over here, you're making me very unhappy because I'm happy. I'll tell you in a practical way. So many parents force their children to take up a particular job in life. So I hate blood, I don't like medical things, and you want me to be a doctor. And you force me to go to medical school. What will happen to me? Will my life be happy?
No.
You see, this is how it plays out. So I love writing, and you say, I love acting, and you say, acting makes no money. Go and do sales job, go and be a psychologist. You have taken me out of where I am most happy. Because you did not try to understand and appreciate me. And you have put me over here and are forcing me to do what you want to do. So my life is bitter and I'm happy and I'm frustrated and I live a meaningless life and I die. And my life is unfulfilled. Very sad. But if you had allowed me, based on who I am, to live out my life in the way. So the journey of the youth worker is to help keep a young person in the journey to which he's going. Help that person on the way. Help them discover themselves, help them discover who they are, their purpose, their why, and help them to discover how do they make that purpose be fulfilled based on their personality. Does it make sense? So you as youth workers have to do a lot of things in the back in your mind. That's why we say youth workers have to make some notes here. You have to think about the person that comes in and what you're learning every day by the activities you do. If it's a computer game, if it's a computer program, if it's a drawing, you are beginning to piece together the image of a person. And your job is over time to help that person understand himself or herself so he can be on a journey. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Very good. This is what youth empowerment is. So if it is ASEAN level, who must have those principles and policies to help, this is the journey to help young people to find themselves and their purpose. If it's the government here, the job is to constantly be helping them on this journey towards empowerment. if it's the Commonwealth, our job is to keep sharing this information so that youth workers everywhere can help young people discover their why and their purpose. So this is my story today, I'm done. Are you okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Layne, for your special session with us today. You, personally, you assist me to conceptualize it better. What I don't understand, but it's make the picture clearer and it's helped me a lot. So I think that's what this is as well. So I think anyone will have some questions, but I will have the police to ask my question first. So we can have a discussion today about youth empowerment, positive youth development. We, as AYG, we are excited because that is our philosophy as well. Also with development, we are following that as well. So I would share one story about our experiences to convince the policymakers about our work. I think your message about the why is very important for me as well. So the government policy always use beautiful data.
Yes.
Beautiful data and to show the problems of on the ground. So one example is they will show that the youth don't have the opportunities to work, meaning some of them are working. So they just make the conclusion, oh, they need to make a resume workshop.
Right.
And so they bring 2 buses with full of youth, about 80 of them. None of them get out of the bus.
No, they're not interested.
They're not interested in the program. So, but to convince, because people always came out with a program about skill enhancement, which is not wrong, but one of our experiences, we have skill enhancement with accommodation, with pocket money, everything, but they still don't want it because they don't have that they order. So my question to you is twofold. One is how is the best way to shift the, I would say, the worldview to accept about positive youth development within our community and also with the policymakers, because the majority of them, in my personal opinion, is they will see, yes, the youth is we need to repair them, we need to help them, we need to
fix
them. But I don't think that's the best approach. So how we can convey to that? No, that's number one. Number two is regarding why also I think it's a skill of contemplating in the age of distraction. Because I try to also with some sort of our youth today, because the skill of contemplating and thinking and seeing your why is a process, like what you shared. So some of them found I would say a bad why, meaning in a global context also about peace, about race and also everything. So how we can help them to unfold that why, and to give them a better, a meaningful, better why. So I think I just gave you 2 questions to maybe you can.
Well, the first one is very easy. So how do you convince these persons? You said it already.
Yeah.
I always ask this question. I'm going to ask it again. Who is the very best advocate for a young person?
The best advocate.
Huh? Who is the best advocate for a young person? Yeah, it's easy. The young person themselves. The best person to tell anybody about what is good for them is not you.
Yeah.
Actually, we are the second best.
Yes, exactly.
We are the second best. The best person to explain to any leader or whatever about what is important for them is let them say it in their own voice. So what I would say to you, if you want to convince those persons, you bring some of those young people when you go to the minister next.
Exactly, yes.
Let the minister say to you, when I go to this place, they will, I feel this way. When you let them speak for themselves, it is the most powerful thing.
Yes.
And I test it over and over. I mean, that's why we do the youth council. Yeah? You would know why. Because when we let you speak for yourself, even though I could do it, it's not the same.
Yes.
What you're trying to get at is that authenticity. The young person in their own voice, in their own way, explaining why a place like this is better for them than what they have.
Yeah.
So if you can encourage that, you're half the way. So my advice to you is when each of us who are youth work, bring those young people with you who you have worked with. The best person, when we show some of our people that we work with, that's how they started and where they are today after 5 years, 3 years, 2 years. And you see the development and they go and they say, that program has made me discover my why, my purpose, it says more than I can ever say. And you know what it does too? It touches the heart. Yeah. So too many times what you're trying to do is to convince people in their head. It does not work. It does not work. Why? Why it doesn't work? You will never be able to give a decision maker enough information, data, evidence that goes in here to make it. It will not work. It will never. He will always have a doubt. He or she will always have a doubt that something is just not. It's all of us head. But if you can touch the heart, he or she will never forget. Yeah. And that's why when you bring a young person and they go and they speak, and if you find good ones who can speak, they not only speak to the head, but more importantly, they speak to one's heart. Ultimately, it's the heart that helps you to make these decisions. When you are connected emotionally to something, okay, so you wonder, okay, every year everybody say, okay, I'm going to have a good diet. I will not eat certain things, blah, blah, blah. But you're emotionally connected to chocolate. Yep. So after a while, your head is telling you, I will not eat chocolate, but your heart is connected. You love it. So you go and have chocolate after 3 months because you're emotionally connected to the thing. Yep. That is the same in the reverse. When you speak to someone's heart and head, the emotion is connected and they are joined to it. It becomes part of what they will never forget. Right. That's the first one. You see? Yeah. So then the second question is about the process. Yeah. How do you do it? So remember I said, I'll show again for those who have missed this one. This is important. So it's how you understand it. Huh? So people start with the what, and the how, and the why. And they normally start the process this way. What I'm saying to you is to go this way. That's the difference. I'm saying to you, change your mindset in how you do it. Don't start with the what you do and start with help. If you help, I'm saying to you, I'm flipping what you're doing now. Yeah. And saying, instead of trying to do the what and the how you do it and the registration, no. Start here. Yes. And go out. See? Start by helping, if you can help a young person. When you meet a young person for the first time, your first question to any one of them, give them a homework to do. Why do you think you are here? Just start there. Give them something to go and contemplate. And say, what do you want? What do you think you are? Why did you think you are in this world? Yeah. Go and tell them to go and think about it. If they are conscious, why do you think you are here? Why do you think you are in this community? Why do you think? Let them go and the mind will be complex with this one. And then you build out from there. You go the other way. So it's I wish I had more time, but I'm saying it's changing your whole mindset about how you and in business it's the same in business, by the way. Yeah? It's the same. I mean, this approach that I'm sharing with you originally is very applicable in business. In businesses, people try to build brand loyalty. You ask them, why are you selling cars? Oh, they'll tell you what and how. Why are you selling cars is the question. They don't understand. Why are you in this business? If you flip it, and so the best companies that are successful and that are in the top, they start with the why. You check. They don't just go for, they have this thing called loyalty to the brand. The example that I will give you is some people will say, when you see the Commonwealth with a new Apple phone, people join around the block. In some places, in some countries, when the next iPhone is, before people used to join and the long line go around the place. Oh, have you ever seen it? Why are they in a long line? They will be able to buy the phone the next day. Apple has been telling people why. Not what they do, not how they do it, why. People believe that Apple brand is a is a revolutionary brand. They're trying to change the status quo. So people have bought into their why. So they believe that they're part of something bigger. The other people, when they come out with a phone, nobody joins the line. Apple phone is very expensive. Why are people still buying it? It's the most expensive thing. They buy it. Why do they buy it? They believe they're a part of something bigger than just buying a phone. It's and I'm just saying in some places, not maybe here, they're buying into a philosophy about what the company is about. So the companies are really successful. They're employing this, what I'm calling this golden circle, where they start with why they are doing it. And I'll explain a lot about it. I mean, you could go into it a lot more if I have a little time. So even in parents, even in schools, you tend to want to manipulate a child or a young person and try to inspire them. What do I mean? A manipulation tactic that we use is, okay, if you do well, I will give you a treat. This is not why they're doing it. You're trying to give them, you're trying to help them achieve something by trying to manipulate their actions. I will give you a good treat if you do well. The child doesn't want to do the good treat, but he will do it because you are trying. He wants to get the treat. That's manipulation. In business, it's the same. They drop the price, they drop the price and you go and buy it, but they're manipulating you. It's the same. What we're trying to do is to help people, not manipulation, but inspire them. In your job is to inspire that young person, touch their heart. You're inspiring them to become all they can be. The job of the youth worker is to be a coach, a mentor, a motivator. You're the foremost cheer maker. Your job is to inspire them into action. You can have two children. One who gets inspired, same process. One who is inspired and one who is not inspired. Which one do you think is going to do better? The inspired one. Because you've gone beyond, you have touched something inside of them, the why. So that is inspiration. And an inspired person can run a mile, 10 miles when he is really only to run 2. I've seen people who are inspired who have no legs climb great mountains. Why are they doing it? Inspiration is powerful. If somebody inspired to do something, they will climb a mountain when they are not supposed to. So the job of the youth worker is to inspire and to motivate into action, not manipulate. This is what we do. Oh, if you do well, I'll promote you. It's manipulation. Oh, if you do well, I'll be your friend. This is what we do. I'll be your friend if we'll be friends if, I'll be your friend if manipulation. It's not the same. If you inspire the person, friend for life, it's different. This makes sense. Sorry about it.
So I'm open to the audiences if you want to have a discussion to bring up other online questions or silakan. Mike.
So Jesus help me.
Good evening.
Thank you.
So my question is about expectations. I have this kind of expectation when I'm developing some news, and sometimes they don't meet what we expect from them. And how can I help myself from this? Because I know development a young person was tough, can be tough, and they are going to disappoint me, and they are going to rebel and so on if it's don't meet what's the interest, right? So I know that development is not about result or perfection, but about progress. But still, I still feel that feeling about that I am a failure because I can't make them become better than yesterday. So how can I help myself on this?
You see, you sort of, it's a very good question. It's very good, but you have the answer in what you said. What did you say? How can I make them? That's what you said. How can I make them? It is not your job to make them. You see? It is not your job to make them. Your job is to help, is to be walking beside them to help them discover. You see, your job is to be the you see, so you're saying to yourself, how can I make them? No, that's the wrong approach. The approach is that journey of self, the person you guide them to discover by asking the right questions and giving them the opportunity to think critically. So the job of the youth worker's job is to help to raise consciousness. The job of the youth worker is to change mindset. It's not for you to make the change, it's for them to make the change. The youth worker's job is to guide them in that process. Do you see? So what I'm saying to you, change your approach. It's not, don't feel that burden that you have to make them. No, that's not your job. Everybody's accountable for themselves. Huh? Your job is to guide them in that process. And you need tools to do that. And sometimes you give them, the tools I'm telling you about are, the personality tools. When I talk about extrovert and introvert, you can give them tools that will help them unpack whether they're extrovert and introvert. That's self-discovery. On the weekend, I did this in London. I was rushing because I was almost late for the flight because I was helping people discover their personalities. Why? I'm not doing it for them, but I'm guiding them in how to do it. And I'm saying to them, if you're an extrovert, then what is your mindset? You see? So it's in your words. Don't make them. It's not your job. Your job is to guide them. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you don't have to get a set of tools that will help you to do that well. You see? Okay. It's hard work. Expectations.
It seems that youth worker is very important role, and
it is.
I would say they also must be equipped with a competent role.
Absolutely.
So, in your view, just thinking about increasing our quality, your top 3 skills of the youth worker that they can improve on or they can acquire. So, in your view, what is the top? Obviously, top 3.
Let me use this one. Yeah. So before I'm going to talk about the skills, I'm talking about the mindset change. So the youth worker has to have a change in his. So you should know what your purpose is first of all. So you can't be helping if you are not even clear what is your purpose in life, and you are inauthentic when you talk about it. So the first thing is that you don't even know yourself. So I think the first thing for every youth worker, I would say, you're going to have to go through this journey yourself. It will be very difficult for you if you're going to be trying to help a young person discover their purpose and you have not. The second most important thing for a youth worker is this idea of being authentic, being real. Don't go to young people with, a dishonesty in yourself. They will see right through you. So I get along with people, some parents struggle. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know. I don't need to pretend as if I know everything. If I don't know when I'm working with I say, I don't know the answer to that, but I can go and try. So that idea of knowing yourself and then being authentic with a young person is very important for me. I suspect the third thing that I would say is you have to commit as a youth worker to this idea of constantly learning. You have to. Because why? The young people that are coming in, they are growing, they are developing, they are learning fast. So if you're stuck in, 10 years ago, and you're dealing with some children today, you're going to be out of step with what they're. So you have to commit to learning and relearning and unlearning so that you can meet there. You see, it's all about, this is the idea. The young person is the center. You are the supporter, you're the youth worker, you're the one guiding. So you have to be keeping always. That is why we do our conference, because there are things that have happened since COVID. And since COVID, technology has gone through. How is youth workers going to be responding to technology in the future? We probably didn't have to do this 10 years ago. But today, another one, mental health was never a big issue 10 years ago. Like, it was always there, but never a big issue. Now it's a big issue. How are you now going to meet with a young person who is having identity crisis? You're going to have to keep learning. So those 3 things I would say, not skills per se, but it's a self-awareness that you need to have. One, you have to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, there's hardly a chance in hell you're going to be a very, very successful over years. You need to be authentic, so you have to be honest and genuine in what you do, because they'll see right through you. The young person have these laser eyes. They'll see right through you. If you're fake or acting or pretending, they'll just know. And the third is you have to commit to constantly learning, because they're always learning and growing. And you have to keep a pace. I'm out of pace, I'll tell you. Because some of the words that they're using now, the jargon, I'm not in it anymore. But I can advise to say, you have to keep up with that, because the meaning that they attribute to something is different. The meaning that they give to, a job, the way they see the world is constantly different. But you know this as well. The generations. So the generation issue. The baby boomers are a totally different group. Like, you know, those, and right down to this generation alpha, these are the craziest ones. I don't know these ones. These generation alpha, I don't know what it is. My little one is like 8 years old. And if you say, go here, he said, I'm not going, daddy. Full stop. He's not going. I could lift him up moving. He's just, they just know exactly what, this is a different generation. He says, go here, son. Daddy, I'm not going. He's done. Not because, and it's not just him, all his friends are the same. And all the parents are telling me the same thing. So this generation, this next generation, this generation alpha, and all of the generations are different. You have to study that as well. You have to study that as well. So that intergenerational problem is a big one. Yes, so if you are my age and you are to work with generation alpha, you're in trouble. you better go and study what is that. You know, there's some children who grow up, this is all they know. Yeah. We grew up with, I grew up with, I didn't have this. Yeah. So my perception of this, is this a tool? Their perception of this, is it his life? Yes. It's different. So if you take this away from a young person, what have you done to him or her? You've taken away their life. This is how they see it. Because from their 1 year old, they're doing this. No, have you ever seen? Yes. A 1 year old, he can't speak words, but he's swiping. Life. This is their life now. So that's what I'm saying to you. If you don't appreciate that learning, if you're not committing to learning about that, you're going to go in with my age, oh, technology is rubbish, when actually it is their life today. You see? Okay.
So, okay, maybe as I would say as a closing question from us. Now we also anticipating about the conference that we're going to be in November. You can talk about this, but as youth movement, in regards to of course the global challenges, as I said, the geopolitics, the climate issue. What is the big why that you can? Yes, together we can move together and to the. In regards to conference also as a youth worker and what we can work together practically, and also we're going to move together practically. Sure. So what is the one message that you can give to us that we can reach together?
I was in Pakistan 3 weeks ago talking about youth work, and at the end, one youth worker came up to me and she said, she just said, can I ask for the mic? And I said, yeah, I knew her, so she said, and she said to me, this understanding about being a youth worker, she said to the audience, I was about to quit youth work. I was about to give up. I was very frustrated. I was trying everything. There was no support. And I was about to just hand in my time and say, after 20 years, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to open a business or something. And then she said, but then we met in a meeting like this, and we discussed about the issues, and my mind was changed. And I felt that my purpose in Pakistan is to help youth work. And she said, that day changed my life. So the purpose of the conference is to do exactly that for hundreds of youth workers. Is to help them to change, to motivate them to stay in the profession. We are losing youth workers so much. Because there are no support, it's hard work, they're struggling to get the resources, and they have the skills, but they are going other things. So that's the purpose of the meeting. We want to change, to encourage a few people to encourage those who are frustrated, and to send a message out into space and time that youth workers are still valuable. That despite the frustration, there are many of us who are in it, but together we are making a difference in the world. We are touching lives that later on are changing the world. So that's the purpose of the conference, to really help every young person leave there inspired to go back. And that's what our conferences have done. So when people talk about the conference, I listen. You listen to the video clips, and I felt so motivated. I felt so inspired. That's the purpose. You see? I didn't tell you we're going to have workshops, and that's the what and the how. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Because that's not going to do anything to your heart. Now if I say what I said, you are going to come to the conference now. Because you want to feel motivated and inspired. You see the difference? You see? Difference. I could have said to you, we will have 2 days, over 2 days, we're going to have 6 workshops. That's the what and the how. People actually believe on the why. You see, that's the difference. That's the why.
Perfect. Please give a round of applause of youth work is fairly new in Malaysia, so what we can commit is with WAPtv. So we are gaining traction towards the conference. We are planning about some activities towards that, and also from our audience online. Please keep up with us. So hopefully we can build a greater ecosystem for youth worker in Malaysia, in ASEAN, also in Commonwealth, ASEAN, and also in the world. So we will meet you in other programs. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Layne.
Thank you. I think just to say, the clap should go to you guys. No. You, all of you here. We come in, we drop in with invitation, and we come and we see this, and we don't understand the difficulty you have every day coming in, finding resources, making sure the place is clean, making sure the young people are happy when they leave. I don't think people understand how much you are invested in here. Each of you who work here and those who are working in other places, you are invested in it. So our thanks is not for us. We are just, what are we really? It is for you who are every single day is helping to change a young person's mindset, helping to keep them inspired and motivated, helping to help them to see a bigger world than the one that where they live. May not give them much hope, but you are every day giving them another hope. If they don't even have good parents, they come to your safe space and you're giving them another perspective that life can be more than what their reality says it is. So that's your job of a youth worker. You're constantly doing that every single day. And you will not see the benefits sometimes right now, but give yourself a few years and those young people are going to come back and they're going to say to you, thank you for just tolerating me. Thank you for opening the door and allowing me to come in to play. I didn't have somewhere to play. You are the ones who deserve the thanks. And that is what we hope. We celebrate that because, you know, in the trenches, in these spaces, you are every day solving Malaysia's problems, building the nation from the bottom up, not from the top down. This is the work of the people. So you are the ones who we should clap. So I celebrate you as well.
That's why we must work together, same mission, and everyone online also. Please keep up with us. So we are building the youth work community in Malaysia, and also we are growing also in the ASEAN and also in the Commonwealth community. Hopefully see you again in other programs, and also in ultimately on the conference on November. We will give the information later. So right here we can work together, give up some name card, and also we can know each other, and we can maybe some programs or activities together, so whether LYG or to the Malaysian context, and also with the Commonwealth, also and everyone here. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you again later.
Thank you very much. That's good. No. Hey, that's good.
So
take a picture, though. Take a picture.
some of your good points will make short for this. Is it possible?